Guardians of the Globe. The easiest Invincible parody to spot is hands down the Guardians of the Globe, because they're basically the Justice League wearing different costumes. They're a full-on pastiche of DC's biggest icons, built to feel instantly familiar before getting ripped apart in one of the most shocking scenes in modern animated show. See, the Guardians were designed to hit those archetypes we already know by heart. You've got the speedster, the billionaire vigilante, the warrior goddess, all lined up so that when things go sideways, it hits 10 times harder. Red Rush? That's their Flash. Same red suit, same super speed, just without the lightning. Instead, he moves in this crimson blur that feels almost alien. Darkwing's the Batman stand-in. No powers, just gadgets, skill, and an unlimited budget. He's the guy who built the team in the first place, protecting his city from the shadows while juggling trauma and tech like Bruce Wayne on a bad day. Then there's War Woman, who's basically Invincible's Wonder Woman, the powerhouse with the mace and the mythic armor. She's tough and absolutely commanding, but she's also the heart of the team in that classic Diana princess way. Aquaris fills the Aquaman slot, though Kirkman takes the joke further. Instead of a handsome king of Atlantis, he's literally a fishman. Similar powers, way less majestic. Martian Man? He's the twisted mirror of Martian Manhunter. Still a shapeshifter, still from Mars, but way more elastic and creepy, like a contortionist alien. And then there's Green Ghost, who flips the Green Lantern idea on its head. Same color palette, different concept. Instead of a ring powered by will, it's a mystical green amulet that lets her phase through matter. They're not direct copies, but they're not trying to hide the inspiration either. And that was the whole point. Robert Kirkman wanted readers to get attached fast, to see familiar heroes, feel that comfort, and then watch it all crumble in minutes. Omni-Man. Omni-Man was created as a clear reflection of Superman, a version of the same idea stripped of its moral center. In early drafts, he was even called Supraman and wore an S on his chest with a more traditional superhero design, but those details were later changed to avoid legal conflict with DC. Even so, that influence never left the character. Omni-Man was always meant to be Invincible's answer to the question, what if Superman's purpose wasn't to save us? From his alien heritage to his human disguise as Nolan Grayson, the similarities are impossible to miss. He lives among humans, has a family, and stands as the strongest hero in his world. His cape, his colors, even the way he carries himself are deliberate echoes of Superman. But the truth behind that image is what sets him apart. Omni-Man isn't a savior. He's a Viltrumite, a soldier bred for conquest, raised in a culture that values dominance over mercy. Invincible. When it comes to Invincible, the Spider-Man parallels are impossible to miss. Mark Grayson is basically what happens when you take Peter Parker's heart and mix it with Superman's power level. A teenager who's constantly torn between saving the world and just trying to live a normal life. Now, people love comparing Mark to all kinds of characters. Gohan from Dragon Ball, Superboy from DC, even Superman himself. And sure, I get it. He's a kind-hearted hybrid from a powerful alien race. He's got a younger brother who looks up to him, and when he snaps, his true strength hits like a freight train. But let's be real, the closest mirror isn't Superman or Superboy, it's Spider-Man. Both of them have their entire moral code shaped by family. For Peter, it's Uncle Ben. For Mark, it's Nolan and Debbie. And both of them learned the same painful lesson, that being a hero means giving up the one thing you want most, a normal life. The show's creator, Robert Kirkman, even confirmed that the character's journey, particularly his darker suit introduced in Season 3, was intentionally designed as a reference to Spider-Man's iconic black symbiote suit, symbolizing a shift in Mark's moral compass and internal struggles. What makes Invincible stand out, though, is that it doesn't just parody Spider-Man, it feels him. The show takes those same tropes and plays them straight. Responsibility, loss, and sacrifice. That's why it hits harder than your average superhero story. And the Spider-Man connection doesn't stop there. In Season 2, Mark actually got teleported to a dimension that looks suspiciously like Marvel's, meets a version of Spider-Man, and in the comics it's actually better because it was the actual Spider-Man. If you read the crossover story in the comics, you further understand how similar these two characters truly are. Because just like Peter Parker, Mark learns that having power isn't what defines you. It's what you do when that power starts to break you. Monster Girl. Monster Girl is basically Invincible's answer to the Hulk, but with a cruel twist. Both of them turn into giant green super strong monsters, both can level a building with a punch, and both treat their powers like a curse. Every time she transforms out, she gets younger, literally. Her body regresses, trapping a 26-year-old woman inside a child's frame. But that's not all. Although she is biologically female and identifies as a woman, her monster form is male in appearance. That's the kind of punishment Bruce Banner never had to deal with. For him, the Hulk is an uncontrollable rage monster that comes out when he's angry or afraid. For her, it's a ticking clock that's slowly erasing her adulthood. And that's what makes her story hit harder. She's got the same healing factor, the same unstoppable strength, and the same internal war between the person she is and the thing she becomes. Two Punch Man. There's actually a parody of One Punch Man hidden in Invincible, though it's exclusive to the show. If you've been paying close attention, you might have noticed a bald-headed, blank-eyed hero in the background who looks a little too familiar. Same overall design, just with inverted colors. When fans asked Invincible creator Robert Kirkman about him during a Reddit AMA, he simply said, "I think that's Two Punch Man." At first, everyone thought he was joking, but Season 3 confirmed otherwise. In the premiere, when Doc Seismic captures all the heroes, that's when we finally see the mysterious bald hero fight. While taking on a few Magnemites, he knocks one out with exactly 2 punches, living up to his name. He even shows up during the Invincible War, joining other heroes in their attack on a variant of Mark Grayson. Despite clearly being powerful, he chooses to hold back, letting Mark and Eve take the spotlight. At least this time he got more frames than One Punch Man did in his entire Season 3. Tech Jacket. Tech Jacket is one of those heroes who ended up with powers way beyond anything he was supposed to have. The suit he wears comes from an alien race called the Geldarians, who built it as a way to make up for how physically weak they are. But when a human like Zach Thompson puts it on, it turns into something else entirely. The Tech Jacket bonds with his body, giving him ridiculous levels of strength, speed, and durability, along with the ability to survive in space and unleash energy blasts strong enough to take down massive threats. It's a setup that's a lot like what happens with Jaime Reyes and the Blue Beetle Scarab. The Scarab also comes from alien tech and builds a living suit around its host that can fly, shoot energy, and react to danger faster than the person wearing it can think. Both suits were designed for weaker species, but once they attach to a human, they basically become overpowered weapons of war. Zach's version of that power takes him far beyond Earth. He's fought alongside the coalition of planets against the Viltrumite Empire, and even gone up against alternate versions of Invincible. The Tech Jacket isn't just armor, it's a weapon that adapts, learns, and keeps him alive no matter what corner of the universe he ends up in. Shrinking Ray from Invincible immediately brings to mind both Ant-Man and the Atom. Her entire power set revolves around shrinking to microscopic and even subatomic levels. She's the kind of hero who can slip through cracks, infiltrate enemy defenses, or disappear completely in the middle of a fight, a power that's equal parts stealth and survival. The character is built as a pastiche of those classic shrinking heroes, borrowing directly from their archetypes. When it comes to how her powers work, the similarities are clear but distinct. Ant-Man relies on Pym particles to alter atomic distance and density. The Atom uses dwarf star matter through his biobelt to move through worlds and even energy currents. Shrinking Ray's ability doesn't come from tech or science. It's innate. She can shrink beyond sight, shift her molecular density, and still stay in control, though the show never explains the process. That mystery helps maintain the grounded logic Invincible applies to its superpowered world. Splode. Splode's entire identity feels cut from the same cloth as Marvel's Gambit, the cocky, fast-talking rogue who turns anything he touches into a weapon. Both can charge objects with kinetic energy, making even the most ordinary items deadly in their hands. For Gambit, it's playing cards. For Rex, it's whatever he's got on him. Coins, bolts, magnets, bits of scrap metal, anything that can explode becomes an extension of his attitude. Loud, unpredictable, and dangerous. But beneath that flashy ability lies a darker origin. Rex wasn't born a hero, he was built into one. Sold off by his own family to a government program, he was surgically enhanced and trained to become a weapon. It mirrors Gambit's own past, raised and molded by the Thieves Guild before ever having a chance to choose who he wanted to be. Both men start off as tools for someone else's agenda before breaking free and trying to find redemption on their own terms. Kid Thor. Kid Thor might look like a straight-up parody of Marvel's Thor the first time you see him in Invincible, but that's not exactly the case. He's not a god, not from Asgard, and not even remotely divine. He's just a regular human who happens to wield a hammer with a very specific legacy behind it. In the Invincible universe, Thor actually exists, and the origin of Kid Thor's hammer comes directly from him. The story goes that a legendary blacksmith forged a weapon so well crafted it caught Thor's attention. After Thor lost his own hammer, he blessed this one, making it so only the blacksmith's descendants could wield it. That blessing is what eventually passes down to Kid Thor, connecting his power back to the god himself. The connection to Marvel's Thor is clear. Both carry enchanted hammers that choose their wielders, but the difference is in what that power means. Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, symbolizes worthiness and divine strength. Kid Thor's hammer, on the other hand, is more like a lifeline. Without it, he literally dies. The hammer doesn't just give him power, it keeps him alive. Compared to Marvel's Thor, Kid Thor is a serious downgrade. He doesn't command storms or unleash godlike fury. He's tough, sure, but nowhere near the same level of power. It's almost ironic. Where wielding Mjolnir in Marvel turns people like Jane Foster into gods, in Invincible, it's the only thing stopping Kid Thor from being just another human.